interest or no big deal or whatever, but you click on the comments section and you start reading the comments section, and all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, people are really worked up about this topic, this issue. And I think that we as humans kind of tend to be tribalistic, where we want to pick a side. And if we're a person that's inclined to comment on a Facebook post, we might be inclined to post a comment in favor of one side or the other. Now, you might be non-committal when you click that button that posts your comment, but the way a Facebook algorithm takes that information that you entered and processes it, the algorithm collects information and analyzes it to decide what comments have an overarching theme and which theme has the most comments, and then that's kind of what gets moved up. So if, say, there's a political argument happening in a comment section and it attracts, maybe thousands of votes, that post is now trending on Facebook, and it gets put up in people's recommended feeds, gets put in people's trending feeds. They click on it, they read the post, they read the comments, and then they might enter their comment in, and it becomes this giant loop of feedback for the Facebook algorithm to decide what's hot and what's trending. And so it really encourages outrage culture. One of the other problems is that, or that they've been accused of in considering these platforms for regulation, is that they can be racially divisive. They can be politically divisive. They can be economically divisive. And the more outrage a post gets, the higher up on the trending the higher up the algorithm puts it on the trending list. So that in itself can be really a large distortion on what's actually popular on Facebook, for example. But so all of these things are being are considered for regulation in Congress and also the Senate, because there's an idea or a concept of whether or not these platforms are public utilities, meaning if the president can tweet on Twitter, and let's say you've been deplatformed for a particularly conservative post or a particularly liberal post, and they've banned your Twitter, you can no longer tweet at the president. So how is that supportive of the First Amendment, the freedom of speech, right? The other argument against that is that you're a private company, and you have the ability to provide service to anyone that you wish. And so along with that comes the power to deplatform someone that if you don't particularly agree with their politics or their stance on whatever, or if they feel that you are overly offensive, they have the right to do that under this idea that this is a private company. But along with that comes the idea that if harm is caused by content on your platform, are you liable? If you're liable to decide who stays on or gets off your platform, then you're also liable for the consequences of that content. So that's the debate that's happening right now, and it's kind of in the background. We don't hear a whole lot about it, but there are lobbyists and large media companies that are getting in on this conversation, while the rest of us are just using our YouTube and our Facebook as we normally do, not really being aware of what's happening in the background as far as company policies for YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, several others. But also what's happening in the public front as far as legislation goes. So along with that social media thread is a battle, actually, that's happening right now between old media, which would be Fox News, MSNBC, CNN, and new media like the news shows that you would find on YouTube, for example, Jimmy Dore, Kim Iverson, the Young Turks, which is probably the biggest media company or news company on YouTube. There's this battle happening because what seems to